What does protecting Africa's wildlife and great beer have in common? Both can be found at Longship Brewery in San Diego. Longship Brewery is teaming up with the Global Conservation Force, a non-profit anti-poaching force that is dedicated to fight back against the illegal poaching of some of Africa's most precious animals through education and conservation efforts. In an effort to keep the rangers in Africa properly geared, Longship Brewery invited CGF's Todd Schwink to come down for the day and help brew a special collaboration, Kolsch-style beer, where a portion of the proceeds will go to protecting Africa's wildlife. But first, Todd had to go to work.
Now we're scooping out the spent grains from the mash tun, and the beer process is coming along.
So Todd's got his work cut out for him. We have about 500 pounds of dry grain that go into the mash tun. So once it soaks up all that liquid, it's going to be a little bit heavier. So he's going to have about 600, 700 pounds of grain. He's going to manually scoop out of the mash tun. We might have him crawl in there, get his hands dirty, that kind of thing.
The Wildlife Guardian, a Kolsch-style beer, was crafted with the idea of what would rangers returning home after spending days in the African sun want to drink?
It definitely seems like a nice, refreshing beer that after a day of tracking and protecting rhinos, it would be the first thing to crack open and take back a nice swig of a refreshing beverage. And it's got a hoppy kick to it, but it's not overwhelming. It's really smooth, and they definitely knew what they were doing when they put this recipe together.
From the African bush to your dining room table, Longship Brewery and the Global Conservation Force are showing that you can make a difference to help stop the illegal poaching crisis without having to leave the city.
It feels good to be able to put our craft to use in a positive way. We make beer all the time, for the benefit of enjoyment in the tasting room, and we've always looked for more ways to expand, our impact. So to be able to partner with GCF to do something good in the world, it feels great for us to put our beer to good use.
Every little bit helps these guys, these rangers, these heroes out there fighting the fight that we can't, because we're not there, we don't have the training, we just can't do it, but we can support them. So that's the main thing that GCF is trying to do.
Help fight back against extinction by picking up a bottle of the Wildlife Guardian. This rhino-approved brew is scheduled to come out on March 24th. Be sure to follow Longship Brewery and the Global Conservation Force for upcoming events. But until then, let's stop illegal poaching by raising a glass and helping a good cause.